Okay, folks, you could call this a joke in bad taste, but sometimes you have to keep your sense of humour flowing, however dark it may be and dry. And basically, yeah, we're not having much fun here in Sydney, Australia. We're under lockdown currently, and basically that's because of the COVID-19 coronavirus. So it's really not fun being in the midst of this, but we've got to somehow keep our sense of humour. How that's going to happen, that's a good question. I'm getting sick of it, folks. But then no one likes a lockdown and no one likes COVID. So COVID, the Delta strain, indeed is a vicious little bitch. She deserves to be slapped by us getting vaccinated, and we got to get vaccinated, folks. It's the only way out. Now it's affecting Melbourne and it's affecting South Australia. Not good. All in lockdown. So let's see how we go. What is this? Okay, folks. I told you it was a bad joke. Corona Extra. You could say Corona Extra is another word for Delta, extra. The coronavirus with a little bit extra, with faster to spread, difficult to dodge. She's a real bitch. She doesn't care. She hurts little children as well as adults. Delta must go. Bitch, bitch, fucking bitch. She is a fucking bitch, Delta. The Delta strain. I'm not talking Delta Goodra. I'm talking about fucking coronavirus. So I'm just trying to line this up against the edge here. So she's a bitch. She's a fucking bitch. That COVID, our fucking Delta strain. Fuck her. So she's going to get a bit of a joke made about her through this. But I know it's not going to bring back the people who are dead. It's not going to bring back people's livelihoods or lack of revenue and businesses going to the wall and people losing their jobs left, right and centre. And even, this is too big on the vertical, but it looks nice. Looks like a good roll, except I didn't have it the right enlargement. Fuck. Made it too big still. But basically, it's like you just can't escape this version of the virus. You just can't escape it. It's just that difficult to fight, to throw all your resources at and find it's still not going anywhere. We're still struggling to control Delta. Delta is a fuck. I've heard of worse versions, but the current version we have here in Australia is the Delta version. That's the one has been identified causing mayhem. I don't know how it's going to be brought under control, folks, except we got to get vaccinated, folks. I know the AstraZeneca vax, which is the easiest one to get, has been implicated, now that looks good, has been implicated in blood clots, fatal ones on the odd occasion, but the blood clots themselves, they're rare compared with the coronavirus itself. So, you got to consider that you're more likely to die of the coronavirus itself than you are the side effect. And the thing is, any vaccine is better than no vaccine. You got to have it to deal with this disease. We've got to fight it with better tools instead of this. We can't play lockdown games. We can't play tippy toes. Tippy toes isn't working. It's not working for us anymore. It might have worked last year and when we pre-Delta, but now we're in Delta, and Delta is a bitch. She won't let go, and it's like she's got feelings. It's like it's a real person. It's like it's alive, as apart from being some kind of creature, single-celled creature, I don't know. I do think this one's better. This one looks a lot better. I think we'll use this one. I like the colours there. I wish I had it turned off the black. Maybe we could try it without the black. But basically, since the game began, since we started having coronavirus, the game has certainly changed, and it's really difficult to control Delta. Even with the strenuous lockdowns that we're having, it's not working. It's not actually giving us any joy or any kind of... we're not getting the results we're after, so we need to get vaxxed. AstraZeneca is, apart from the clots, is still a good vaccine. And my GP, to prove a point, my GP had her, not just herself inoculated, but she had her children inoculated, and one of the children is only 20, and this child got the AstraZeneca. So if it's okay for a GP to inoculate with AstraZeneca, it should be acceptable for the general populace. We have no choice but to vaccinate, folks. That's the only way we're going to get out of this. In the long run, we can't play suppression games anymore. Suppression's not working, as in the lockdowns and the restrictions, the masks, all the things that everyone hates. So if you want to wear masks in the heat of summer this summer, and you want to be in lockdown, well, go on. This is it. Just don't get vaccinated. But no, I don't want that. I want more people vaccinated so we can get the fuck out of this disease. So we don't have to fucking play any more games of suppression and tippy toes. Tippy toes is not working, as you can see, folks. It's not working. Delta is too catchy. Delta is way too contagious. There's just no way we can beat her just by suppressing. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, folks. In the end, we have to fucking vaccinate. That's the only solution, folks. I'm going to use this. I'm going to move it around. I don't know how it's going to look. But yeah. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if I've said it, but you're more likely to die of COVID than you are of the AstraZeneca jab. You know, AstraZeneca is probably really... Hey, that looks really nice. Even if AstraZeneca is not as good as Pfizer, it's sure better than nothing. In my opinion, I do think so. Wonder if we're going to use this one or we're going to do another one. We're going to use this one. But yeah, we just have to think, you know, that we have to survive and we have to... I'm wondering what we're doing. I'm going to do another one. But yeah, we just have to fucking get vaccinated. It's the only solution. If we could all get vaccinated as a nation, we could potentially end this lockdown situations that we have. Now that looks interesting. Wondering which one we're going to use. I do like this one better with all that colour. Okay, we're just going to do it again. But yeah, AstraZeneca, better than nothing, folks. I do believe that, folks. And I trust my GP that she did the right thing by her children and got them inoculated with AstraZeneca, however unpopular it is and not recommended typically for young people, but now it's like you can. Now that looks interesting. Corona Extra, or Delta strain extra. Going to use this and we're going to move it around. Yeah, that looks really interesting, that. I think we could work with that. Yeah, this is it. Delta. Corona Extra, otherwise known as Delta. Delta is the extra in Corona Extra. So you got to think, try to be fucking funny, folks. I know it's not a joke. I know this is not a fucking laughing matter. But sometimes you have to fucking well make a joke out of something that's really bad in order to cope with it. It's a coping mechanism, folks. Sometimes you have to make jokes about these things, however much bad taste they might seem. So you've got to fucking somehow deal with the darkness of this era that we're living in. And yeah, this is it. Corona Extra Delta. The Delta strain is Corona Extra. I don't drink beer, by the way, folks. I don't even have alcohol. I purchased that beer entirely for the purpose of this demo. I forgot something, folks. Got to add a bit of extra. Okay, enlargement this time. I don't think this beer is going to sell that much because of this crisis we're in. I think it's one of those things that people might see too much on their television and all that, and they may not find drinking Corona Extra terribly. It's just a reminder of what we already know, that this is shit. That we're living in lockdown, we're losing our jobs. That's it. That's another thing, folks. If you want to lose your job, don't get the jab. You know, it's like, do you want to lose your job? Do you want to lose your house or your car loan? I know that the banks are trying to help, but they can only do so much. So we got to get vaxxed, folks. We must get vaxxed as a population. And we can have all the fun. The parties are back. The festivals are back. The footy matches are back. You know, all those things. All those wonderful things that we've grown to love as a nation, as a world. All these things, sporting and all that. You know, all that shit. This is what we just did. All that cool stuff. But we can't have that cool stuff when the disease is running rife. We can't. We're going to leave it on that. We can't do it, folks. So it's a choice. Get vaxxed or face a bleak future, because even if we can stop this lockdown, even if we get to zero infectious cases in public, and if we can drop it, it still could come back, folks. Look what's happened to Melbourne and South Australia. And it's really, the choice is ours, folks. We must get vaccinated. It shouldn't even be a fucking choice. If they can make mandatory lockdowns I really hope that the authorities make vaccination a mandatory. That's the only way. That's how I see it. That's my opinion, folks. You don't have to agree with me, but I do think that vaccination should become mandatory, unless you've got a good excuse, unless you've got a medical condition or health problem that excludes you, like anything. Because we can't live like this. People are dying. People are getting sick. As you know, businesses, as I've said, are going to the wall. It's not nice, and people will be using mental health services more, and that they get overloaded as it is. And people need to access social security. That's going to cost us, the taxpayer. I'm not a taxpayer. I'm on the disability pension myself. I've got disabilities, but I feel sorry for the taxpayers that have to pay for people like myself included. But it's really not easy, but it's going to be going from taxpayer to welfare, or should I say social security recipient. But anyway, enough about that. I think that's exhausted the corona thing. But I do think the future is with vaccination. I do think this is a little bit on the crooked side, folks. Just have to straighten it up. It's a little bit tricky, this one. That looks better. I think now we can call this COVID drink demo quits.